Help support our coverage using Blueberry, the community that gives creators the ability to make money, get detailed audience measurements, and host their audio and video. Get 30 days to try out the service using promo code BLUBRRY004.
Thinkie.
Yes.
Nick, how are you? I'm
Hi there.
Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to our show. What is Thinkie?
Thinkie is a brain training sensor.
I need it.
Yep. Well, we all do, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I need it more than most, but go ahead.
So there's some interesting thing from a physiological standpoint. The prefrontal cortex is the last part to develop in your brain.
Mine never developed, but go ahead.
Well, there's a reason why they won't rent a car to a young man under 25, because his prefrontal cortex is not fully developed.
Are you kidding me? Is that true?
That's exactly why. So inhibition, decision making,
I did not know that. Really?
long-term planning for the future, not great when you're a young man under 25.
Where do they get the 25 from?
Generally, so physiologically, we know that the prefrontal cortex develops at age 25. It's fully developed.
That is so interesting. Go ahead.
And then the unfortunate part of that is that then it starts to deteriorate rather quickly at 30 or 35. So we're all headed, pretty much everybody here is going to be in that age range.
I'm well on my way.
Yeah. And so you can arrest that process if you want, if you take the proper steps, but you have to have a sensor that will tell you that you're doing that. So just to use an analogy, you know that physical exercise is great for you. It rejuvenates your heart, your lungs, your muscles. When you exercise, you know that you're exerting yourself. You know that because you sweat, your heart rate goes up, you start breathing harder. When you exercise your brain, you don't have that physical response. So you need a sensor to tell you that this activity is great. Maybe you do Sudoku, maybe you play crossword puzzles, or the New York Times, you do a jigsaw puzzle, do the New York Times Wordle, things of that nature.
Now, are these, all the exercises that you just mentioned they are mathematical in nature?
To a certain extent, yeah.
So is that going to give me more pleasurable experiences as far as my brain's concerned?
It's going to exercise your prefrontal cortex, and you want to arrest the deterioration of that part of your brain.
Okay.
When it gets too extensive, we call that dementia and Alzheimer's.
Okay, so you want to exercise this.
You want to exercise it just like you would with your body. But again, you don't get a physical response when you exercise your brain, so you need something to tell you that this is actually beneficial for you. So I'll demonstrate this for you right now. This is the sensor that I'm wearing.
Now you notice he has a headband on and it says Thinkie.
Yep. The sensor that I'm wearing is really a feat of miniaturization. It weighs 30 grams. It used to be the size of essentially that table 20 years ago. It was huge to be able to use a near-infrared spectroscopy, which is the technology that we use. It's not EEG, which is very commonly used, but that's really expensive. It's not as portable. It's very finicky. It's really quite difficult. So you can see here that my brain activity is improving.
That's because you're talking to the Gadget Professor.
Can I show that to the camera? You can see that my brain activity is higher. It goes up. And then as I pause, it goes down. So this is real time. We take multiple measurements per second.
Now, what's the accuracy of that?
Well, with multiple measurements per second, it's really real time, right?
90%? Better?
No, it's better than 90%.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely, it's very accurate. So what it does is it measures the blood flow to your prefrontal cortex, specifically the level of oxygenation in your blood. We know that oxygenation is correlated with mental activity. So when you're mentally active, you know that you're exercising your brain, you get more blood, it rejuvenates it, and over time that can stop and reverse even the aging process of the brain, right? We have studies, peer-reviewed studies, France, Japan, the US, UC Santa Barbara, that show that if you use it for just 10 minutes a day, 3 days a week for 90 days, you can actually reduce your brain age by almost 4 years. We've got people who've done it in Japan.
You can statistically verify this?
178 people experienced it, in our latest study. So we had a cohort that did it in Japan, and those who did it consistently over a year took a decade off their brain age.
Okay, so let's get down to the nitty-gritty here.
Yeah.
You sell this program, is that what I would call it?
We sell the sensor and then an app.
So you have the whole program. You're going to buy the unit, the sensor, and the app.
Right.
What does that cost?
So the sensor, you can buy one for a household. It's $250 off of our website or off of Amazon.com.
Okay.
We have a membership that we sell in conjunction with that gives you access to the app. The app is either $9 a month, or if you choose to pay it one lump sum, $99 per year. But again, you only need one sensor for your household. You'll need different accounts for each user.
Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm paying 2 bills, $200.
$250.
$250 for the headset.
$249 specifically.
Whatever, for the sensor.
Yeah.
Okay, now forget about that. You own that. But to use that, you need access to the app.
Correct.
To get access of the app, it's either $10 a month or $99 one charge, and away you go per year.
Except if you buy it on Amazon right now, you get the entire year of 2025 for free. So it's $250 all in.
That's a pretty good deal right now. I mean, I haven't tested it. I don't know, but he obviously seems quite knowledgeable.
Well, I just showed it to you. It works. It was measuring my brain
I've seen
activity.
it work. So if I were you and you're all thinking of this, probably now is one of the best times to buy it. So is it Thinkie.com?
ThinkieSystem.com.
Thinkie Systems. But I would go to Amazon right now and put Thinkie Systems in.
That would make sense.
And boom, it would come
and
down.
then you would get that. We're all a day older than we were yesterday, and our brains are a day older. We need to arrest that process. We need to reverse it so that if we make it into our 80s, 90s, and beyond, then we actually have a brain that can keep pace with that.
Now, you mentioned Alzheimer's. I was under the impression that one doesn't have a choice when it comes to Alzheimer's. You're going to get it. I mean, I've had, unfortunately, 3 members of my family that severely tortured, not to mention the family. And this device would have prevented that?
It can arrest the aging process of the brain. It can reverse it after it arrests it.
It's going to reverse it?
Yes.
So if I was diagnosed with pre-Alzheimer's and I had this device?
Just to be clear, it's preventative. It's not a therapeutic. We're not an FDA-approved medical device. So it's used for intervention prior to any sort of condition that you might have.
You must have statistical analysis or data backing that this unit works opposed to not using the unit.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, there are studies on our website. We're a science-based company. This has 30 years of R&D behind it, both the miniaturization of the sensor.
No, I love this stuff. I love it because, you're on the bleeding edge.
Yeah, absolutely.
And 5 years from now, we're not going to be talking about this. We're going to be talking about something that's so much more advanced.
Sure.
And you would have never got there if you didn't do this.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so I get that, and that's the beautiful thing about CES. My question is this. What would be the average, what I would call the quiescent state of the brain? You know what I'm saying?
Not exactly. What are you meaning?
In electronics, we have this term called quiescent state. Mm-hmm. And what it means is if you're listening to a radio and there's no station, your sine wave is going to be flat.
Right.
As soon as there's a station, and depending upon the frequency and the volume and the amplitude, that wave's going to go like that.
Yeah.
So you showed me on your meter that it went from I forget what. But
up to 50, up to 90. Yeah. And so the color changes, the bar
grows. But I can
grows.
watch that instantly. So what you're saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm doing Sudoku or
jigsaw puzzle,
whatever
play
it
the
is,
piano.
I'm going to see my brain increase.
Most likely.
Most likely.
The issue is that when you do those things and you think that you are rejuvenating your brain, you may not necessarily.
But that meter's going to say you are.
If it does say that it is, then it's beneficial for you.
Okay.
If you may be under the misapprehension that something's really good for you and it's not a great use of your time.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of this app.
You wouldn't spend 30 minutes on a treadmill for nothing, right? You don't want to spend time on something.
I'm loving it more and more as we talk.
Yeah.
So if I were to, let's say I enjoy painting or soldering, I, as an individual, may get more stimulation.
Right.
Because I like to paint.
It's entirely possible.
Than Mr. Jones, who loves doing the crossword
But
puzzles.
without a sensor, you don't know.
That's why I love that.
Right. So you don't want to, like the 30 minutes on the treadmill, you wouldn't do that to waste your time. You want to get a benefit out of it.
So essentially what you're saying is that, and I'm seeing it so I know it works, if that meter goes up, that means you're exercising your brain.
Correct.
Pure and simple, end of story.
Bathed in blood, rejuvenates your brain. That's the same thing as your body, right?
I love it.
Yeah, it's absolutely great.
I
love my job.
Yeah, well, I hope so. What's your background?
Well, I've been in tech. I worked at Amazon and Microsoft and have run my own business, a marketing consultancy. Unfortunately, till COVID put a bullet in that, but that happened to everybody. We've all had to reinvent ourselves. Yeah. Well, and now I'm working at a startup, and I advise startups as well.
I am very impressed. I love the concept of that. And also go to Amazon, look up
Thinkie.
I'm going to say Twinkie. Thinkie. Thinkie and Thinkie Systems.
Thinkie will get you there.
Check this out, because you're going to get, for $299.
$249.
$250. You're going to get the whole deal. You're going to get the band plus a year free service.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Do it.
And again, you don't have to be tethered to our app. You can play our brain training games if you like, but you can do something that you're already have part of your routine.
That's a fascinating device.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay,
it
great.
Really is. Thank you very much.
No, I thank you. Thank you for bringing us that, because it's something I would never know existed.
Yeah, until CES.
And I've seen it work. I've seen the meter go up.
Work. Yeah, I use it every day.
Yeah, good for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a device that's going to help you.
The Tech Podcast Network CES 2025 coverage is executive produced by Adam Barker. Technical director is Kirk Corliss. Associate producers are Nancy Ertz, Tracy Ingram, Xerxes Goddard, Brandy Jackson, and Aviva Cram. Voiceover by Aaron Hurst. Our hosts are Marlo Anderson, Don Baine, and Scott Ertz. Studio and equipment are provided by PLUGHITZ Productions. The TPN studio executive is Todd Cochran. This has been a Tech Podcast Network production, copyright 2025.